Okay, I call a meeting of the Police Commission, Middletown Police Commission to order. Full board is present with the exception of Commissioner Mills. We'll turn it over to Chief Owanchu.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. This afternoon, in addition to our normal agenda, I do have a candidate to present to the Commission for the purpose of interview as a possible police officer candidate for the department. I'd also request at the end of my agenda to go into executive session to not only conduct the interview, but to discuss personnel matters of members of the department.
Okay.
I did forward the Commission the minutes from the May Commission meeting for their review. Would the Commission like to discuss them at all?
No questions from me.
Nothing? Everybody's good? Commissioner Vignoli's going through it with a fine-tooth comb. I appreciate it. Being no discussion, comments, questions, could I have a motion to accept? I have a motion by Commissioner Rodriguez, second by Commissioner Vignola. All in favor?
Yeah.
Minutes from May meeting accepted as written. Monthly statistics for the month of May. I just did forward that out to the Commission earlier this week. For the month of May, the department saw a 21% increase in call volume, with 3,259 calls for service in comparison to 2,683 in April. Part 1 crimes, we also saw an increase there. Part 1 crimes for the month, we investigated 61, 11 in the violent category, 50 in the property. Out of those 50 property, we're still seeing our numbers driven by larceny, so 45 of the 50 property crimes are larceny. And that 61 was in comparison to 55 in the month of April. Part 2 crimes, we also saw an increase, and we investigated 219 Part 2 crimes in the month of April, or month of May, in comparison to 167 in the month of April. We also saw an increase of 17% of arrests for the month of May, 244 arrests in comparison to 208 in April. So an increase of 144% in the issuance of parking tickets for the month, with 561, or I'm sorry, traffic tickets, 561 in comparison to 230 for the month of April. Parking tickets the month of May, increase of 10%, 281 versus 255 the previous month. Use of force incidents, they were down. We had 4 incidents that resulted in a use of force, which equated to 1.6% of total arrests, and that was down slightly from the previous month. In regards to investigating shots fired calls for the month of May, we had 2 incidents. Both were confirmed and arrests were made at both. One was on May 14th in the area of 99 Beatty Avenue. It was a dispute, and one of the parties involved discharged a firearm at another. We were able to make an arrest in that situation, as well as on May 27th on Grand Avenue, dispute between females, in which time a firearm was discharged. We were able to make an arrest in that one as well. Currently, as we sit this evening, the department has 2 vacant police officer positions. One will be interviewing a person tonight with the potential to fill one of those vacancies. Out of the 73 sworn personnel I have on staff, currently 1 is deployed on military leave. That's Officer Yuvan. He's been out for several months. I also was just received an email from him. He's actually processing to transfer to St. Petersburg, Florida. So I'm not sure where that's going to leave him and what the time frame is with that, if he ever comes back to us or not. Also, out of the 73, I have 1 on disability, which I'll go into more detail when we get into executive session. I have 1 currently in field training and 1 in the police academy, and I still have 1 that is suspended pending hearing. Recently, police officers Hodges, Pearsons, and Barclay completed their field training program and are now working on their own. What I did with them is I actually added all 3 of them to our flex squad, which is something that we negotiated in the last collective bargaining agreement with a union. So I have them doing overlapping shifts. They were currently working at 12 in the afternoon to 8 in the evening to help with the high call volume and to add additional bodies to the patrol squads during the high need time. So far, it's been about 2 weeks. So far, very positive feedback on having those extra bodies during that time frame. I've spoken a few times over the last several years in regards to the department hiring a service coordinator. This is a grant-funded position. Funding came through Senator Skoufis as well as Assemblywoman Gunther for this, for a 2-year project. We are looking to start this on July 8th. We've done interviews, backgrounds, and we have a very viable candidate that we think we're going to be very satisfied. We think the city will be very satisfied with. Also, July 8th, we'll have him join us, and we'll make sure that we get him introduced to everyone and put out to the public as well. Dispatcher Roman is retiring effective July 6th. However, her last day in the building is next Wednesday, June 26th. To honor her 25 years of service, we will be doing a walkout and a luncheon. The luncheon starts at 2 p.m. Commission and Mayor are welcome to attend, and then the walkout will be about 3:45 that afternoon on the front steps of the police department. I have her gonna stay on our roles though as a part-time employee to help fill some of the voids with dispatch. I also have a candidate that we've done a background on, successfully completed the background, and have offered him an employment opportunity to be a dispatcher with us, and if everything goes well, we'll be starting him shortly after Dispatcher Roman's official retirement date. Any questions, thoughts, discussion on staffing?
Chief,
Yes, Commissioner.
just going back to the two gun incidents,
Yes.
they were illegal guns?
So one was not recovered. We assume it to be illegal, and the one at 99 Beatty Avenue was a legally possessed firearm. The person had a permit. Any other questions with that? For the month of May, I'm just going to read through the trainings that the department participated in. Department of Criminal Justice Services Hostage Negotiating Course, Managing Critical Incidents, Rescue Task Force Training, Asset Forfeiture Training, EMS Instructor, Child Passenger Safety Overview, Too Good for Violence course, and we send people to our PAS, which is a PAS conference, which is our software that is all of our scheduling and time and attendance. We also just recently worked with Corporation Counsel to amend 2 sections of City Code. One was to address open containers. Section 156-1 read previously that you had to see the person actually consume from the open container. We mirrored some of the other local laws from the neighboring towns and cities around us to amend that to as long as the person possesses alcohol in a public place, they can be in violation of the city code. Secondly, we had, with Corporation Counsel, we edited our bicycle and sidewalk local law to include our scooters, as we've seen a tremendous increase in the use of scooters on the sidewalk in an effort to keep the public safety when they're using the sidewalks. We thought that would be a great addition. Both of these items have been presented to the Common Council and approved recently. Last Thursday, we took possession of 2 camera trailers that we purchased under grants. This was a grant that we received also from Senator Skoufis, the SNUG grant, and we were able to get these items approved. They're actually portable solar-powered trailers that have 5 cameras on them. So we have currently 1 deployed in the intersection of Wickham and Wisner, and 1 in the area of Robert Street along Erie Way. I think they're going to be a great tool for us, a great resource. They do feed right back into our existing camera system, so our dispatchers and supervisors could see them live at their desk. One of the cameras on each of the trailers is a PTZ, so we can move it and zoom in on things. The other 4 are fixed place. But our goal is to utilize these and put them in areas that we feel need additional enforcement, deterrence, so on and so forth. They're very visible. They have a blue flashing strobe light on them to garner attention. They have signage and lettering to show that they are police department. We demoed one back in December in the Park Circle area, and it was very effective, which led us to the purchasing of these 2 trailers. Right around the corner is our 4th of July week. We put together a detail for that to make sure that we have adequate staffing to help address anyone that does utilize fireworks within the city. As we all know, they are not legal here in the city. We get every year that people argue with us that they bought them legally, and that is very good. However, our local codes don't allow that, so we want to make sure we have sufficient staff. We also will be utilizing our newly purchased drones to help us combat some of that those illegal uses of fireworks throughout that week. Just last week, we were notified that we received funding through the Department of Criminal Justice GIVE program. Once again, this will be the 11th round going into the 2024-25 funding year for GIVE, we received $100,000 that we focus on hotspot policing. Just about 90,000 of that goes directly to putting additional police officers on the streets, especially during high times of volume. We try to hit our weekends, busy times, holiday weekends, so on and so forth. Been very instrumental in helping us combat some of our concerns and issues. Regards to community events, on June 8th, the department hosted Kids Day celebration at Thurl Park. Great turnout, great event. It's definitely grown more and more each year. Police Officer Patricia Galley is credited with putting that program together. It was her brainchild when it originated several years ago, and she continues to run with that, organize it, and put it all together. Just something that happened today. I think it's deserving of a quick conversation. We made an arrest today of a female. Her name is April Floyd. She's 29 years old. She has come to Middletown within like the last week or so. Last known address is Utica, New York. Since she's been here, we've had a handful of incidents with her, to include today where she assaulted 3 separate people, elderly people, just randomly for no reason. One of which was sitting in a barber chair in a barber shop, and she walked in and assaulted the person. One was walking with a cane down the street. She approached the female, knocked her to the ground. She's been charged appropriately, and as I was coming over for this meeting, they're actually processing her to take her to the jail. So hopefully we can get her back to Utica and hold her accountable for what she's done while she's been here in Middletown. I did forward the commission 11 personnel complaints and/or internal investigations. I don't know if the commission had the opportunity to review them. If there's sufficient time, that'll be up to the commission. If you want to discuss them, you need more time, or if you want to move forward with accepting them, that'll be up to the commission.
I'm fine with your recommendations.
Any other? So if I could have a motion to accept the 11 as written, and then I would just read them into the minutes.
Motion.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Rodriguez. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mayor DeStefano. And the motion and second is to accept the following internal investigation / personnel complaints as written. First would be from March 4th of 2023, personnel complaint 004 of 23, finding is not sustained. Second is from April 18, 2023, personnel complaint 002-23, unfounded with a training issue that was addressed. April 19, 2023, personnel complaint 003-23, unfounded, no violations of policy. May 15, 2023, motor vehicle accident, did show violations of policy, was addressed with verbal counseling. August 9, 2023, an injury sustained to one of the officers during an MVA investigation. Investigation found no violations of policy, and in fact, through the investigation, it was determined that the officer involved went above and beyond and was actually given an award for his heroic actions in that matter. August 25th, 2023, personnel complaint 011 of 23. Exonerated, and a training issue was identified and addressed. December 22, 2023, officer involved MVA struck a deer, no violations of policy. March 7th, 2024, motor vehicle accident involving an officer, no violations of policy. April 3rd, 2024, training injury to one of the officers, no violations of policy found. And then May 27th, 2024, officer involved motor vehicle accidents. This one we found violations of policy and addressed them through verbal counseling. The last one, the 11th one that I sent, was a follow-up to personnel complaint 015 of 23. And the focus of that follow-up was that there's an amendment made to an order of protection in that matter. So being that there's a motion and second on the floor, all in favor to accept them as written?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That is all I have on the agenda. Does the commission have anything they would like to discuss, address, talk about? Okay. We have no one here in our audience this evening, first time in a while. So, being nothing else, I'd be requesting a motion to go into executive session to address personnel matters and to conduct a police officer interview.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mayor DeStefano, second. Commissioner Sullivan. Be moving into executive session at 4:45 PM for
Please.
personnel matters.
Please be advised that ends the public portion of today's meeting. Thank you.